This is Mr. Gomez from Salinas Adult School. Um, and I am want to talk to you about how we can use Suno.ai to help reinforce some of the concepts that our learners are, learning in subjects that may not involve things like that require rote memorization. For example, like history, social studies, um, things that like science. That we can actually help our learners engage with material by taking on these fun projects by just doing it. Now sometimes we're going to use Suno to hopefully make a catchy song that will help our learners memorize certain ideas in math. Now even if it doesn't help them, the song itself is they don't like, but just engaging with the material may be enough to help them, stay interested and perhaps even memorize it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm looking up, and I've done this in group work. Is I've look for mnemonic devices for integers in math. And I think what I'm going to use here, I'm going to use the enemy of my enemy analogy for multiplication and division. And you can kind of look into this in more specifics if you want to, but the AI is usually pretty good in looking that up also. So what I'm going to do here is so the enemy of my enemy analogy. So I'm going to sign in and create a Suno account. That's pretty easy. You can use your Google account. It's probably the easiest way to go, but you can use your email account. So I'm going to switch over here to Suno here. So I'm going to go ahead and share this. So this is Suno. You've probably heard about it. It's a song creation AI. Right now, I am in the create section. So if I look at the menu on the left right here, there's home, explore, and then there's create. And so there's a couple things I could do here. And I can model this for my learners in class. I can create lyrics, and then I can create an actual song, right? So what I'm going to do is song description, right? So I can do a random prompt, but that's not what I want to do. So I'm going to go to create, and I'm going to put lyrics here. And I want to write some lyrics. I'm not going to leave them blank, but I'm going to create a prompt here. So I'm going to say, write some lyrics, and I don't even need to do that, but to help me memorize how to multiply and divide integers. Now, there is a little front loading on this, right? So prior to this, your learners might want to be familiar with the vocabulary. They'll need to know what integers are and at least the concepts and the ideas, before going into this. But once they, at least know how to do the math of it, right? How do we get it to stick? Then that's kind of the idea here. So multiply and divide, and I'm going to say use the, and I believe we call it the enemy of my enemy analogy, right? The enemy. Now, this is, I would say, do a couple of these together as a group before you set them off on your own, right? And I would do actually a couple of these by yourself before you do this in your class, right? And before you launch it, just so you get an idea of how you want to do this. And so now I've given it a prompt, and so I'm going to press this generate lyrics button, and I'm gonna have it write a full song for me. And I can use a couple of models here, but I think I am going to may generate some content some find offensive. I don't know if I want to do that, so I'm going to, you know, just use a classic lyrics model. Now the cool thing is it's going to give me two choices, right? So I'm gonna, and this is kind of nice because the students can go with, the people in your class can go with, which one is going to work better for them, right? And they even have generated the title "Enemy of My Enemy" or the integer anthem, which is kind of nice. But that's okay. So I'm going to select the first option. So why not? So now I have my lyrics here. Now, style, I can, just do it, but you want to pick a style that maybe your that your students, you may even want to do like an improv thing here and get suggestions from your class. And so let's say I want to do style so reggaeton, right? And so maybe I want a female vocal on this. I can do male vocal, right? And so, and then I'm going to, and I can add more to this. The more familiar you are with, you can actually take a look at the songs that I have here on the side, and there's definitely, more here. So the deeper, that's why I'm saying you may want to explore this a little bit more before you generate your song. So I'm going to go ahead and go ahead and press create. So reggaeton, make sure I have it spelled right. And I don't. There we go. Reggaeton. So female vocal, gonna press create. And so I'm gonna hit create here. And it does take a little time for that to happen, but here we go. Now the free version of Suno, you get so many per day or so many per songs, but it gives you two with the lyrics, right? Um, and it gives you actually, it generates a thumbnail for it. So let's go ahead, and once we get this going, I think, yeah, we can press the song, the title, and we'll get it. And here we go. Hopefully we'll get this on record this. And so we have the lyrics here. So I'm going to press the play.
Same sign at the size. Keep the sign that you're right. Positive.
Let's see. I wish you guys could hear that. I wish there's a way I can get the screen on that one. Let me see if I can. Yeah. So it's gonna give you it's gonna give you a song, right, in that style, right? And maybe it'll be catchy, maybe it won't, right? But you could do all sorts of different, hip hop, punk, R&B, a lot of different types of, so, you could play with this a little bit to see, what, what, how that is going to, work for you. But, um, but I really like this. And like I said, it usually gives you about two choices. And so if I go back to my library, I can look at the second choice. And so it's different sound here. Oh, no. Same. Let me press there we go.
Same sign at the size. Keep the sign that you're right. Positive, positive, stay on top. Negative, negative, don't stop. Different signs, subtract it out. Biggest size wins, that's what it's about. And with a sign of the strong